Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. Apologies about this late video. As you know, we normally tend to do this on the day of release or scanulation release, which is Thursday, but it isn't always possible at this moment in time to do that. A number of reasons why that is because A, the internet really isn't that good where I am because I'm using my phone and my phone was acting up yesterday, and B, with fasting it becomes quite difficult. To kind of give you a bit of insight what's going on, I have to get up before 2 in the morning to eat and stop eating, kind of fill my stomach before 2 o'clock. Then you go to bed, go to work, and obviously fasting, and I don't eat till about 9:40, 9:45 in the night. So there's a long period of time where I'm awake, where I'm not fasting. So as you can imagine, this can be quite tiring. So when I come back from work, which is normally about 5 o'clock, 5:15, I'm relatively tired, and I end up falling asleep, waking up, it's like 8:30 or whatever have you, and 9:30 or whatever it is, and there's literally no place for me to go and do that. You're probably thinking, oh, and I can do that after I've eaten, but by the time I've eaten, it's like 11 o'clock. Then I'm tired and I want to get some sleep in before I have to get up again to eat. So as you can imagine, it's kind of a continuous circle. It's quite challenging. So bear with us throughout this process. I've got this day off work. Thankfully, I've got a few things that I've got on. So hopefully I can fit everything in. I'm hoping to do One Piece, Bleach today for sure. I know Black Clover's out, and I know Boku no Hero is out. I've read them, so I hope to do reviews for those, get them up to date as well. Boku's already more or less up to date, but definitely Black Clover. And then whenever World Trigger does release, I'll review the rest, but I might just do one tomorrow for it. In any case, that's enough of my personal life. Let's get into this review. Before I start, I know my hair is atrocious. I know the lighting isn't the best in here, and I've got a really plain background. That's not going to change anytime soon. However, I will be looking to get some shelves up in and around this place, as I have a ton of comics and whatnot to put up that I haven't been able to. They're stuck in a drawer at the moment. So all my New 52 stuff, that's all in my drawers. I've got a load that's actually delivering in the next, I think today or tomorrow, of the Rebirth for DC. So that's gonna be cool. And my hair's atrocious right now, I already know. Anyway, let's get into this review. Chapter 8 to 9, the fourth, the one of the four, Yonkao Charlotte Liline. It's interesting because a lot of it is covered by her. Some of it is quite dragged out in a way, but a lot of content is given. But I'm going to try to cut all of this short, keep it short and sweet, and really summarize it and give my thoughts on a few things. So let's get few things out of the way. The first thing I want to talk about is Luffy and Co. Luffy and Co are basically on their way to Whole Cake Island at the moment. Timeline isn't quite explained. As you know, this chapter, does it happen over the same timeline, or is it a situation where one happens before the other? We don't know. Anyway, so they're heading to Whole Cake Island using the map. Carrot's getting excited about the idea of going to some islands. I wonder what this is made of, and they're avoiding islands as soon as they're seen. And remember how we saw earlier on when they were entering the zone, there were certain parts of the ecosystem that were used as a means of detection, so infiltration becomes difficult, and you could see that by them taking that course and that action, they were able to avoid detection in that way. What was also interesting was where Carrot was getting excited over little things, Pedro was very calm, and they even asked Pedro, how do you know certain information about rivers, of juices and things like that, and he only said, I have been here before. What his past was here before, we don't know. Bearing in mind, when we saw in the previous chapters, people did recognize him, so a lot of his people are here on the ecosystem of the islands around Whole Cake Island. Now their purpose, the reason why they're there, is probably something to do with Peckham's, but with Peckham's not around, we can't really ask him. Anyway, so as the story continues, there's some funny moments in there. Obviously Carrot is getting all excited. Luffy is just a brute at times. He's got no such thing as called delicacy. He's just a roughneck. Kai's excited, and there's a scene where Nami pinches Luffy's cheeks, and he goes, "Do not cook. Do not even enter the kitchen." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I won't do it again." That's just funny. Anytime stuff like that happens between Nami and the crew, I always enjoy it. It always gives me the giggles. It's always fun. Then that huge centipede Pokemon looking character comes out of the water, and the boys step up, and Carrot, Pedro, Brook, Luffy all ready to fight. Where's Chopper, you may ask? I don't know. He's probably scared, probably didn't realise. Probably in his laboratory, ashamed that he didn't figure out the poison, I don't know. But they're ready to fight just in case. And that's all we really have of the Luffy and Co. journey in this chapter. Not much. Anyway, then the Big Mom stuff starts kicking off. I've made a few notes. If I do look down, I'm only looking at my notes. Anyway, the Big Mom takes up most of the chapter, and then a returning guest. In any case, we'll start with the Big Mom stuff. So Big Mom is hungry at this point. She wants a specific type of food. Now, it isn't fully prepared just yet, and some of the ingredients that were necessary were actually alive because everything's like living there, and they've checked out a hotel that they were staying at. So the chefs, even Tamago, is stressing out because they're worried she's on a rampage. And what happens? She rampages. Now, when watching this, I couldn't help but think about the character Donkey Kong and the game Donkey Kong, how she was reacting, and King Kong. When King Kong climbs the tower and he's there and he's swatting planes. It was kind of a scene like that where she was literally going to destroy castles, even her own castle. It reminded me of that, much like in the previous segment when we were talking about Luffy and Co. They refer to it as a centipede, which is like the game Centipede, the classic game Centipede. So it's kind of interesting they had that. And then she's rampaging. People are fearing for their lives. The people are gonna die. The coyote is gonna go up. What's gonna happen? So Kaito steps in and tries to calm her down. His name is Charlotte Muscat, the 16th son of Charlotte Lillian, right? And he's also a minister, which somehow in a way kind of confirms that a lot of her sons and daughters are basically ministers of all the surrounding islands, and possibly in organizations as well, potentially CP0. It doesn't really say that, but I'm speculating here. CP0, world government, revolutionary army, possibility, right? Anyway, that just got me thinking about that. Anyway, so he starts stepping up and says, "Look, calm down, blah 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 blah." She's in a rage. She doesn't even recognize him. And he goes, "Mama, do you not recognize me?" And then she goes, "Treat or life. Not trick or treat. Give me a treat or you're dead." Literally as simple as that. Trick or treat, like Halloween, right? So he's trying to calm her down, and her mouth starts frothing. The slobber starts falling off. And I don't know if it's the slobber that lands on him, but it looks like something that is on him turns to that. I don't know whether she can transform air into slobber maybe. But as soon as that slobber is on Muscat gets scared and runs, and they basically said, "Do not run, she will take your lifespan." So all those people on YouTube that basically said she was a type of witch, obviously they had different abilities and stuff like that, and I've not seen them all. It was pretty close, and the fact that she can take your lifespan is crazy. What's crazier is she actually does it to her own son. He tries running away, she grabs the slobber, pulls it off him, and eats it and takes it. She goes 40 years, so she took 40 years of his life and literally killed her own son. She's got that many children, she's probably not bothered, or in a rampage she really goes into autopilot. So this literally sets up the whole situation where the whole island's fucked, basically. Sorry about the language. And effectively nothing can be done to feed her, being that one of the ministers is dead. Just in the nick of time, Jinbei arrives. And who with? The ingredients that were at the island, that were alive, that just checked out. And he feeds them to her. And they're like, oh well, we fulfilled a good purpose, we're so tasty. Ugh. They start getting eaten. And can you imagine, you like eating a banana and it's alive, so when you eat the banana it's in your mouth, come, I'm full of potassium and sodium. It'd be funny, right? But that just made me laugh. It was very Disney-esque, I guess, very cartoonish in that sense. Now a few interesting points. Charlotte Lillian, sorry, I should say, Big Mom, is huge compared to Jinbei. Jinbei is a big character as it is. He's like meant to be like 8 or 10 or some foot plus tall, right? And compared to her, he is tiny. He is tiny. She's probably the biggest character I have seen, other than Oz. Maybe, you know, they're a quite close match. But yeah, she is huge. And then she also mentions the fact that the poneglyph that we thought that he was going to give to to Robin, he actually gave to Big Mom. She goes, oh, thank you for the poneglyph. So that's where he took it. Also, it's confirmed that she cannot read it. So if she has a poneglyph, there's a good chance she doesn't have someone on her crew that can read it. Is this where he takes Robin, or she takes Robin hostage, or she takes Robin to marry one of her sons? Interesting, right? Because clearly they've got a network of information. They know about Sanji. You'd think that they know about Robin as well, right? It's a possibility. Anyway, so that's confirmed. And then the sweetest ending in One Piece chapter history for me, because everyone's talking about it. Who is the next Straw Hat? Potential clues at the end of this chapter. He goes, Big Mom, I have something important to talk about. She goes, what, Jinbei? Are you looking to leave the crew? And that's how it ends, guys. That's how it ends. So interesting points. We had references to potential games and King Kong. So we had Donkey Kong, we had Centipede, and the way the marshmallows were, they were kind of like Pac-Man, and she was Pac-Man eating them. So that was interesting. The fact that we've got some type of coverage of her powers about eating lifespans was interesting. Her rampaging is interesting. The fact that family members are probably ministers and in other people's crews, interesting. Pedro has been on the island, interesting. Is Pudding telling the truth about the map? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But nothing about Sanji and everything else has been revealed. We will have to wait till next time. As always, thank you very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please do so. I really need the subscribers and the viewers. And I'll see you next time. Peace.